Good morning students, welcome back to the chemistry classes. And in our last class we have discussed about the that is physical properties. In that particularly we have discussed about the solubility, and in today's class we want to discuss one more physical property, that is boiling point. So exactly what is the meaning of boiling and boiling point? So boiling is nothing but whenever the liquid gets converted into its vapor, that is nothing but boiling, and at what temperature it starts to boil, that is nothing but the boiling point. For example, there is a compound AB, or there is a liquid whose composition is said to be AB. It is in the liquid form. Just you go on giving the temperature. So what happens whenever this bond will going to break and this will get converted into vapor form, that is nothing but that exactly at what temperature this bond is breaking and this liquid gets converted into its vapor state, that is what we called as a boiling point. Okay, now we are discussing about the boiling point of the alcohols. And as I said you, alcohol, suppose there is a long chain of the alcohol like this. If there is a long chain of the alcohol is there, the boiling point will going to be increase as the number of carbon atoms or carbon chain will going to be increase. Why? As the number of carbons are increasing or the carbon chain is goes on increasing, what happens? The surface area is more, and as the surface area is more, more the van der Waals force of attraction will be there. More surface area, so more van der Waals force of attraction will be there. So because of this reason, as the number of carbon atoms or the carbon chain will going to be increase in the alcohols, there is a increase in the surface area. As the surface area increases, more van der Waals force of attraction. It means these bonds are more attracted. So in order to break this, we want more temperature. We want more temperature increases what? Its boiling point increases. So are you getting what I am exactly telling? See here, as the number of the carbon atoms or carbon chain increases, the boiling point also increases. Why it increases? Because there is a more surface area available. As the surface area increases, more force of attraction will be there between the atoms. So if these atoms are more attracted, means in order to break those bonds, so that when the bonds will going to break, then only it can able to get converted into vapor state. So in order to break that bond, we need more energy or more temperature. It means its boiling point will going to be increase. Okay, so this is the first point regarding the boiling point, and the boiling point decreases with increasing the branching. So if the branching, first point is regarding the number of carbon chains. If the carbon chain is increasing or number of the carbon atom is increasing, the boiling point increases. Suppose the branching is increasing. Suppose the branching means if the straight chain is, it is branched. Suppose just think the straight chain is branching means whether the surface area is available more or less. Exactly, the surface area available, that is less surface area is available. So as the surface area is less available, the force of attraction will be less. So when the force of attraction will be less, by giving small amount of the temperature or energy, it can be converted into its vapor form. So as the branching increases, the boiling point will going to be decrease. Why the boiling point? See here, if the branching is there like this. If the branching is there means what happens? Surface area is decreased. Surface area is decreased means the force of attraction is also decreases. By giving small amount of the temperature, this can able to break. These bonds can able to break, so that the boiling point decreases as compared with the branching. As the branching increases, the boiling point will going to be decrease. So these are the 2 points which we want to discuss here. And the third point is that always the boiling point of the alcohols and phenols is greater. alcohols and phenols is higher as compared to haloalkanes, haloarenes, ethers, hydrocarbons, etc. So, the boiling point of the alcohols and phenols is higher, even though if we compare with the similar molecular formula compound. For example, let me explain you by taking an example. This is the ethanol, okay, and here methoxymethane, this is the ether, this is the alcohol. So, what is our point? Alcohols are always having the more boiling point as compared with the other class of the compounds like ether, hydrocarbon, haloalkanes, haloarenes, like this. Let me take this one. See here, this formula and this formula both are having the same formula. This is also C2H5OH. It is also like that only. C2, how many carbons? Here it is C2H6O, like this. Here also C2H6O. Yes or no? Even though these are having the same molecular formula, but the boiling point will going to be different. The boiling point of the ethanol will be greater as compared with the boiling point of the methoxymethane. So, why it happens exactly, that I will tell you. See here, in case of alcohols, as I said you previously, there is a existence of the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. There is a existence of the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So, let me take the ethanol molecule like this. Okay. So, what happens? There is a development of the hydrogen bond. There is a development of the hydrogen bond between the hydrogen and more electronegative atom oxygen. So, there is a bond formation takes place in case of the alcohol. But what about ether? In case of ether, what happens here? There is no bond formation. There is no H bond here, but here there is a formation of the hydrogen bond. Yes or no? See here, as the hydrogen bond is present, we need more energy. In order to, this bond is one more extra bond, what we can say. Along with present bonds, this hydrogen bond is developed, which is intermolecular hydrogen bond. So, in order to break this bond, we have to give more temperature. It indicates what? The boiling point of the alcohol is more because of the intermolecular hydrogen bond formation. While in case of ether, there is no H bond, there is no hydrogen bond will going to be formed. Because of that, by giving some sort of the temperature, it will going to start boiling. Okay, that's why the boiling point of the alcohol will be more as compared to other class of the compounds. In that particularly, I have discussed about the alcohol and ether. Let me take an example of the alcohol like ethanol and the ether like methoxymethane. So, in case of ethanol, there is a formation of the hydrogen bond. As there is a formation of the hydrogen bond, we have to give more temperature to make it boil. While here, in case of ether, there is no hydrogen bond. There is no hydrogen bond. That's why we need less temperature as compared to alcohol. So, this is the point. One more thing I want to explain you here. So, once again, three important points will be there in the boiling point physical property. So, what is a boiling point? The temperature at which liquid starts to boil. That is nothing but its boiling point. And then here, in case of alcohols, the boiling point will going to be increase as the number of carbon atoms or carbon chain will going to be increase. Why it happens? Because as the carbon chain is increasing, more surface area is available. So, as the more surface area is available, more van der Waals force of attraction will be there. So, that boiling point will going to be increase. And in case of second, one more point here, as the branching increases, what happens? Surface area decreases, van der Waals force of attraction decreases. So, its boiling point will going to be decreased. By providing some sort of the temperature, it will start boiling, because branching is, more branching is there means area is available less, force of attraction is less, so the boiling point decreases. And the third point is that the boiling point of the alcohols and phenols is greater as compared with the compounds of the other category like hydrocarbon, haloalkanes, haloarenes, ethers, etc. So, in that particularly I have taken one example where we have comparing alcohols with ethers. Okay. So, here methanol I have taken, ethanol I have taken along with the ether. Both are having the same molecular formula, but the boiling point of this ethanol is greater as compared with this ether compound. Why? Because in case of ethanol, there is a formation of the hydrogen bond will going to be takes place, while in case of ether there is no hydrogen bond. In other class, what we can say, hydrocarbon, haloalkane, haloarene, there is no possibility of forming the hydrogen bond. That is why the boiling point of those compounds will be less as compared with the alcohol. But in case of alcohol, what happens? There is a development of the intermolecular hydrogen bond. So, this is the reason why the boiling point of the alcohol and phenol is more as compared with the other compounds. Okay. So, this is regarding the physical property. So, only there are two physical properties, one is regarding solubility and one more is regarding the boiling point. I hope so it is clear for you. So, let us move for the one more important bit of the topic, that is regarding the chemical reactions of the alcohols. Exactly how the alcohols undergoes different types of the chemical reactions. Here it depends upon the as we know that alcohols are versatile. We can say it can take a number of forms, in order to carry out the reactions. Versatile is nothing but like that only, more active it can convert one form to another form, like that. So, our alcohols are more versatile compounds and they can act as both nucleophile and electrophile. So, as I said you previously, nucleophile means electron rich system which wants to attract towards the electron deficient, okay, while the electrophile is nothing but electron deficient species, okay, it wants to attack on the electron rich place. So, our alcohol acts as both nucleophile and electrophile. But there is a one question, when it acts as a nucleophile, when it acts as a electrophile. Further, this depends upon the cleavage of the bond. It depends upon the cleavage of the bond. Cleavage is nothing but breaking. It depends upon the cleavage of the bond. So, let me explain you how exactly it happens. See here, alcohol's general formula is ROH. Yes or no? Suppose there is a breaking of the bond or cleavage of the bond takes place in between the O and H here. Here suppose OH bond cleavage, this is nothing but OH bond cleavage. So, when the OH bond will going to be broke or it will going to break, during that time the alcohol acts as a nucleophile. Keep in mind, alcohol acts as a nucleophile. So, when there is a bond break occurs or the bond breaking takes place in between oxygen and hydrogen, during that time this alcohol acts as a nucleophile. So, how exactly it happens, that I will explain you by taking an example. See here, or by general format. This is the alcohol formula. So, here oxygen carries a lone pair of electron. So what I am telling you, when the OH bond will going to break, it must act as a nucleophile. Nucleophile means electron rich system. Nucleophile means electron rich system. So nucleophile will going to attack on what? Electrophile. So I will take one of the electrophile like this. So carbon plus, it is the electrophile. So it is electron rich, electron deficient, both will going to be get attracted like this, both will going to be get attracted. So during that time what will be the, so like this attachment will be there. Okay, but the oxygen got 3 bonds, oxygen valence is 2, it is a divalent. So the oxygen gets plus charge here, oxygen gets the plus charge here. So in our next step what happens, this oxygen, as you know, it is electronegative, it always wants to gain the electron, it is not ready to take the positive sign. So what happens, it will going to drag these electrons from the hydrogen. So it will going to drag the electrons and H will going to be released. So this is the reaction, how exactly it will going to take place, plus H plus. Okay, see here, and as alcohol will going to be give H plus, here alcohol acts as a acid, alcohol acts as a acid. First thing, we are talking about the chemical reactions of the alcohols, and then alcohols acts as a both nucleophile and electrophile. So it depends upon what? Depends upon the cleavage of the bond. How the bond will going to be break depends upon that, whether the alcohol acts as a nucleophile or electrophile, we want to decide. Now I have taken ROH, which is the alcohol, and we are talking about the bond cleavage in between the oxygen and this hydrogen. Suppose this bond is going to be cleave or it will going to be break, means our alcohol must act as a nucleophile, it acts as a nucleophile. Let me explain this one by taking the general format or general mechanism. So the ROH is the general form of the alcohol. Now I am telling the alcohol must act as a nucleophile, it means it must be electron rich system, in which in this alcohol oxygen is more electron, that is electron rich species we can say. Now it must attack on the electrophile. Let me take the electrophile C plus, and this other valencies are balanced by some other atoms. Okay. So now these will going to be attract with each other, there is a bond formed or there is a compound formed like this, but oxygen got the 3 bonds, so that there is a plus charge is there on the oxygen, but oxygen is not ready to take the plus charge, so it wants to drag the electron from this hydrogen. So it will going to drag the electron from the hydrogen and it releases the H plus separately, and it will going to be itself satisfied. So as here H plus is released, the alcohol acts as a acid. Clear? So now when the OH bond is breaking, during that time alcohol acts as a nucleophile. So even I said you the alcohol acts as a electrophile. So when it acts as electrophile, that I will explain you here. See here, this is the alcohol. Okay. Now we need to know when it acts as a electrophile. Suppose there is a bond break occurs between here, suppose there is a bond cleavage or breaking of the bond takes place between the carbon and oxygen. See here, R is nothing but any alkyl group, R is nothing but any alkyl group, all alkyl group includes carbon itself, alkyl may be CH3, methyl, ethyl, propyl, all includes the carbon. So we can say that there is a CO bond cleavage takes place. CO bond cleavage. So when the CO bond cleavage takes place, during this time alcohol acts as a electrophile, Okay, but there is a one condition. Here alcohol must be protonated or protonation must be done. Why protonation must be done, that I will tell you. Let me take general format like this, RCH2OH. This is the alcohol. This is the alcohol. What is our intention? I want to break the bond between this carbon and oxygen. I want to break the bond between the carbon and oxygen. As I said you here, it acts as an electrophile, means nucleophile must be attack on it. Nucleophile must be attack on it. For example, let me take a nucleophile, any one of the nucleophile. So I will show you here. Let me take any one of the nucleophile. So oxygen is electronegative, as you know somewhat, oxygen is electronegative. So partially carbon will going to be get delta positive. Partially carbon will going to be get delta positive. It means what? So suppose we think that it is electron rich, it will going to attack on the carbon, okay, and OH is releases. But actually it does not happens. Why it does not happens? Because OH is not a good leaving group. Easily OH cannot be detached from this carbon. OH is not at all a good leaving group. OH is not a good leaving group. OH is not a good leaving group. That's why first we need to protonate the alcohol. Protonation means we have to add H plus. See here how it happens, RCH2OH. Okay. Protonation means react this alcohol with any one of the acid. React this alcohol with any one of the acid. During that time what will be the formation? RCH2. Yes or no? This H will going to be add for this H, O will going to for oxygen, 3 bonds will be there like this. Oxygen already 1 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen will be like this. Yes or no? And here it is CH2 like this. 3 bonds there means it will going to get the positive charge. So what happens here? RCH2 plus OH2. Now I want to break the bond between the carbon and oxygen. I want to break the bond between carbon and oxygen. Suppose this oxygen wants to go away, means this carbon must be satisfied previously. Yes or no? It must get the 4 valency. It must get the 4 valency. One bond is breaking means one more addition must be there. So during this time what happens? One of the nucleophile will going to attack on this, like Br minus. See, as I said you, carbon is somewhat positive, delta positive, because neighboring atom is oxygen, it can drag the electron, so it is somewhat positive. This Br will going to attack on the carbon, this Br will going to attack on the carbon, so this H2O is removed. This H2O is removed, that is what is the product? RCH2 Br plus H2O plus H2O. See here, we want to break the bond between the carbon and, that is carbon and oxygen. So when we want to break the bond between the carbon and oxygen, during that time alcohol must act as a electrophile. Yes or no? It acts as a electrophile because nucleophile is attacking on it. Yes or no? See here, first we are talking about the cleavage of the bond in between the carbon and oxygen. When there is a bond cleavage takes place between carbon and oxygen, during that time alcohol acts as a electrophile. Alcohol acts as a electrophile. Okay, just generally think this is the that is alcohol, and here I want to break the bond between this carbon and oxygen. So what is our thinking? Oxygen is somewhat electronegative, so it can drag the electron, so carbon will going to get the delta positive. So it become electrophile, that only we are telling, it become electrophile. Now someone nucleophile must attack on it. Suppose think this nucleophile will going to be attack on this carbon and OH is easily removed. That is what we have assumed, but exactly it does not happen, exactly it does not takes place, because OH is not a good leaving group. It will not easily, it will not going to be removed from this one. So because of that reason, compulsory we have to do the protonation. Protonation must be done. Here in case of CO bond breaking, protonation must be done. Protonation must be done. So take the alcohol, add any one of the acid, so it is protonated now. It means H is added. Now oxygen is not satisfied, so this group we want to remove. So in order to remove that group, so attack with the one of the nucleophile like Br minus. So what happens, whenever Br minus will going to attack on this carbon, this H2O is easily removable. So what happens, there is a formation of the RCH2Br and H2O. So we want to cleave the bond between the carbon and oxygen, that we done, and here it acts as a electrophile. That is, whenever there is a bond cleavage occurs between the C and O, means alcohol should act as a electrophile. So that is only what we want to tell you here. So depends upon the cleavage of the bond only we are going to study few of the chemical reactions of the alcohols and phenols. That's why before this concept is explained. Clear? So once again I will tell you, if the bond between the oxygen and hydrogen is cleaving or it is breaking, means the alcohol acts as a nucleophile. Suppose the bond between the carbon and oxygen is breaking, alcohol acts as an electrophile. So whenever the alcohol acts as an electrophile, during that time compulsory protonation is needed. Compulsory protonation is needed. But here when it acts as a nucleophile, no need, nothing. We don't need any protonation or anything. So this is the ROH. If it wants to act as a nucleophile, means oxygen is electron rich. Okay, so it will going to attack on the positive center. There is a formation of the complex, and then this oxygen got the positive charge. It is not ready to take the positive charge, so it can drag the electrons from the neighboring hydrogen. So it releases the H plus. Yes or no? So we broke the bond between the oxygen and hydrogen. That is only our concept. And during this time, it acts as a nucleophile. And as it releases the H plus, it acts as a acid. Okay. Here, when there is a bond breaking between the carbon and oxygen, during that time this alcohol acts as a electrophile. This alcohol acts as a electrophile, but directly it will not going to happen, because of OH is not a good leaving group. Because of that reason, directly it is not possible. So first what we have to do, we have to do the protonation. Add any one of the acid to the alcohol, make it protonated. So what happens, RCH2, OH2, oxygen will going to be positive charge here, okay, and then now attack with the one of the nucleophile. The nucleophile will going to attach with the carbon, okay, and the H2O removes. We want to break the bond between the carbon and oxygen, that we did. And also during this time our alcohol must act as a electrophile, that is also possible. Yes or no? So this is how we can explain the concept behind the cleavage of the bond, and depends upon the cleavage of the bond how exactly alcohol acts as a nucleophile or electrophile. So I hope it is clear for you regarding the physical property and regarding the cleavage of the bond. In our next class, we are going to discuss about the chemical reactions which are based on the cleavage of the bonds. Okay, thank you.